Hi guys, I'm Mike.
And I'm Stephen.
And this is Indy Fanatics, your home for IndyCar content with weekly podcasts and feature videos. Welcome back to the channel and to another feature video. Last week we asked who is Josef Newgarden as we took a look at the impressive American's career. So if you haven't already, go check that out.
Yes, but today we look at something a little bit different with the season finale this weekend at St. Petersburg and a 32-point gap between championship leader Scott Dixon and second place Josef Newgarden. We thought it was the perfect time to look at the history of the point system.
That's right, so here we go. The American Automobile Association ran the sport and therefore decided on the point system between 1909 and 1956 when they would relinquish their role as the motorsports governing body in America. Between 1909 and 1929, the top 10 would score points, with the winner being awarded 2 points per mile. So if it was a 100-mile race compared to that of a 500-mile race like the Indy 500, the winner would score less points. There were no bonus points. You had to finish the race to score points, and if you shared the drive, your points were split.
Well, actually, just to make that a little bit more complicated, that is the point system used between 1909 and 1929, but was only retrospectively applied between 1909 and 1919 in 1920. 1960 still technically has the first point system applied, which was very similar, with the points based on race distance in general but no specific mileage point system, and this was introduced from the first running of the Indy 500. In 1930 and 1937 they made a slight tweak to the points, with the winner only receiving 1.2 points per mile, and the gaps between finishing positions became a much more uniform descent from first.
Between 1937 and 1941, the point system was a bit more generous, and the top 12 would be awarded points, again with the winner receiving 2 points per mile. There was then an obvious break in racing between 1941 and 1945 as America would enter World War II, with racing resuming again in 1946.
Between 1946 to 1977, with the American Automobile Association and carrying on with the United States Auto Club, who took over governing body responsibilities in 1956, the point system saw its most stable period within IndyCar, with the system being used across 3 decades. Like before the war, the first 12 drivers were awarded points, and there was 2 points per mile awarded to the winner, with just a slight change in the points awarded from 2nd to 12th.
In 1978, 1 year before the split into the USAC Championship and Kart Championship, the USAC introduced that all entries would now be awarded points, and this system would be carried forward with Kart adopting this system.
The last iteration of these rules before things get a bit more simple was with Kart between 1981 and 1982. They continued to use the old USAC system, but would divide the points by 10, so the winner only received 0.2 points per mile.
Okay, still with us? Great. So the split meant that there were a couple of different point systems for the championships with tweaks to what have come before. So I'm going to cover Kart and its evolution into Champ Car, and Stephen is going to cover the Indy Racing League in what would develop into today's IndyCar series. So Kart between 1983 and 2004 would go back to only awarding points to the top 12 finishers, and would use the USAC 100-mile scheme for all races and divide the points by 10. Between 2004 and 2008 with Champ Car, the winner would be awarded 31 points, second would be awarded 27 points, with each position to 10th being awarded 2 less points than before. From 11th to 20th, 11th would score 10 points with a 1-point reduction between positions onwards.
Bam! Kart and Champ Car done. Ticked off. Let's move on to the Indy Racing League. They commissioned the USAC to run the races, but used their own simple scoring system where the first 33 ranked cars would score points. The winner would be awarded 33 points with a 2-point gap between themselves and second, and then every other position there would be a gap of 1 point. In 1996, as there was only 3 races, the end of the season total was multiplied by 3. And in 1997, there was no multiplier, but 34th and 35th were awarded a point due to the extended Indy 500 entry list. Between 1998 and 2004, we saw the first iteration of today's point scoring system, with 50 points for a win, 40 points for second, 35 points for third, fourth would be awarded 32 points, and then there'd be a 2 points gap between every position to 10th, and then from 11th to 29th, there was then a 1 point difference between positions, and the rest of the cars would all score points.
Let me take over for a bit to give you a breather, Stephen, because we are throwing numbers around left, right and centre. Hopefully the tables on screen help. So in 2004, a new system was put in place with the IRL becoming the IndyCar series. Similar to the one before, apart from 18th to 24th would all score 12 points and 25th to 33rd would all score 10 points. Right, Stephen, are you ready to see this home?
I'm back. I'm ready. I'm refreshed. So now we move on to the current point scoring system, where 11th to 24th was returned to a reduction of 1 point between positions, and from 25th to 33rd, you now receive 5 points. That's it. That's the history of the point system.
Well, wait a minute. Now we go on to bonus points.
Oh no, more numbers still?
It's okay. We're going to keep this one simple. So since 1983, there have been different variations of bonus points awarded, but we are just going to tell you what they currently are. So for leading a lap, you get 1 point. For leading the most laps, you get awarded 2 points, and for pole, you also receive a point. So that means the maximum amount of points you can score in a single race, including bonus points, is 54.
Well, not exactly true.
What now?
Well, there have also been double points races. In 2014, all 500-mile races were awarded double points. But the one for us to focus on is from 2015 to 2019, double points have been awarded for the Indy 500 and season finale.
Wow. Okay, so Josef and the 32 points isn't much of a gap at all with double points.
Well, actually this year, the world being in a crazy whirlwind of a mess and a shorter calendar, there actually is no double points at St. Petersburg. So Josef has just a 1% chance of winning the title from all possible point scoring scenarios.
Well, 1% is still a chance, and for the 15th year in a row, the title will be decided in the final race. So that's a great thing. Anyway, that is our run through of the history of the point system in IndyCar. Thank you for sticking with us, and we hope you found it interesting. If you made it, give yourself a pat on the back. There are a lot of numbers in there. And if you're new around here, or you haven't done so already, what can they do, Stephen?
They can like, subscribe and ding that bell.
Ding it. So for now, you Indy fans, keep racing.